Welcome back to another unsolicited and uneducated football analysis with your friend David Valentin. This time to talk about something that's been happening in the Twitter sphere, something that has been, I don't know, discussed. The idea that rumor or conspiracy that referees in MLS in 2022 are allowing players to play unrestricted prison yard rules type of idea, that all the injuries that are being seen as of late has been happening simply because they're not pulling out yellow cards. So this being a Orlando City based or focused vlog, I decided to just look at the 6 games that Orlando City has played so far and see if this is actually the case. Did not look at the whole league, too time consuming, but I think you guys are going to find some of this information interesting. First of all, we're going to start with the first game of the season, which was Montreal. And in that game, Orlando City has 16 fouls, Montreal 15, 2 yellow cards for Orlando City, 3 for Montreal, red card for each team. Then you have Chicago, 21 fouls for Orlando City, 14 for Chicago, 5 yellow cards for Orlando City, 2 for Chicago. Cincinnati, 3 fouls for Orlando City, 4 for Cincinnati. And this game is interesting because in this case, each foul receive a yellow card. So 3 yellow cards for Orlando City, 4 for Cincinnati. LA Galaxy, 12 fouls for Orlando, 13 for LA Galaxy, 0 yellow cards for Orlando, 3 for LA Galaxy. Portland, 21 fouls for Orlando, 9 for Portland, 3 yellow cards to Orlando, and 2 for Portland. Interesting too, because Orlando City gets the 21 fouls, but only 3 yellow cards, while Portland had fewer fouls, but they receive a higher ratio of yellow cards. So basically, the percentage of yellow cards versus fouls that were just allowed to continue was greater than Orlando City's. And the last game, LAFC, 13 fouls for Orlando, 19 for LAFC. 1 yellow card for Orlando, 5 for LAFC. And I guess this is the week that you see that people are basically complaining because this is the game that they got to see live, most of the fan base, and it was a loss. And I believe that LAFC used fouling as a tactic. And of course, as we know, Antonio Carlos was injured in a challenge that there was no reason for it. But it is what it is. Now, one of the things that I found interesting is that league-wide, Cesar Araujo from Orlando City and former Orlando City B player and LAFC player at the moment, Mamadou Fall, both are tied to first place with 4 yellow cards each. Robin Jansen is tied with about a dozen players in third place with 3. Also, Robin Jansen is in the club of shame, red cards with 1 and about a dozen other players. In MLS, when you get 5 yellow cards, you get fined $250 and a suspension for your next game. If after the suspension you accrue 3 additional cards for a total of 8, that will mean $500 fine and a suspension. I did not know that. What constitute a offense worthy of a yellow or a red card? I've been following this sport for close to 3 decades, and today actually I'm learning something new. There's 2 different types of things that you can do on the field that will award you a yellow card or a red card. Obviously, fouls and misconduct are the two the 2 columns where these offenses fall under. So I'll read some information about it. In the sport of association football, fouls and misconduct are acts committed by players which are deemed by the referee to be unfair and are subsequently penalized. An offense may be a foul, misconduct, or both, depending on the nature of the offense and the circumstances in which it occurs. Fouls and misconduct are addressed in Law 12 of Laws of the Game. A foul is an unfair act by a player deemed by the referee to contravene the game's laws that interferes with the active play of the game. Fouls are punished by the award of a free kick, possibly a penalty kick, to the opposing team. A list of specific offenses that can be fouls are detailed in Law 12 of the Laws of the Game. Other infractions, such as technical infractions at restarts, are not deemed to be fouls. These mostly concern unnecessary aggressiveness, physical play, and the offense of handling the ball. An infringement is classified as a foul when the infringement meets all the following conditions. Number 1, it is committed by a player. Number 2, it occurs on the field of play. Number 3, it occurs while the ball is in play. And number 4, it is committed against the opponent. For fouls concerning contact or conduct between players. For example, a player striking the referee or a teammate is not a foul. But misconduct. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Misconduct, this is the definition of misconduct, is any conduct by a player that is deemed by the referee to warrant a disciplinary sanction, causing caution or dismissal. Misconduct may include acts such are, and additionally, fouls, unlikely fouls. Misconduct may occur at any time, including when the ball is out of play, during halftime, and before and after the game, and both players and substitutes may be sanctioned for misconduct. Misconduct will result in the player either receiving a caution indicated by a yellow card or being dismissed, sent off, red card, for the field. A dismissed player cannot be replaced. Their team is required to play the remainder of the game with one fewer player. A second caution results in the player being dismissed. The referee has considerable discretion in applying the laws. In particular, the offense of unsporting behavior may be used to deal with most events that violate the spirit of the game, even if they are not listed as specific offenses. The system of cautioning and dismissal has existed in the laws since 1881. According to Association Football, was the first sport to introduce penalty cards to indicate the referee's decisions, a practice since adopted by many other sports. The first major use of the card was in the 1970 FIFA World Cup, but they were not made mandatory at all levels until 1992. That's very interesting. Let's see here. I just wanted to... okay, so these are the offenses that will warrant a yellow card. Dissent by word of action, persistent infringement of the laws of the game, delaying the restart of play, failure to respect the required distance when play is restarted with a corner kick, throw-in, or free kick, entering or re-entering the field of play without the referee's permission, deliberately leaving the field of play without the referee's permission, unsporting behavior, a broad category of caution-worthy acts. See below, basically entering the referee reviewing area. This is for VAR. Excessively using the review signal, basically going, "Oh, look at this," doing that. That is a card-worthy offense. Now, red cards, denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity with a handball. This does not apply to the goalkeeper, obviously, as long as he's in the penalty area. Denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity with a foul unless the referee awards a penalty and it was an attempt to play the ball. Serious foul play, violent conduct, using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or actions, receiving a second caution in the same match. Also, red card, entering the video operation room, VOR. I'll be curious to see who managed to do that they felt they had to include it. So with that said, as you can see, there's a ton of fouls that Orlando City has given out and has received, and the yellow cards do not match the amount of fouls. Now, are we saying that this is the reason why people are getting injured, This is the reason why the results of some of these games have gone the way they have, because the players know that they can get away with murder now. The referees not being cautious enough to protect the integrity and the safety of the players, or are they feeling that by pulling a ton of cards they are going to make the game slower, more technical, more cautious, therefore boring? It's a good question to be asked. I don't think I have the answer for that today. I just presented this for you to be the judge. And if you feel that are in either way of the spectrum of this controversy, well, comment below. That would be appreciated. Give me a thumbs up or a subscription if you want to stay in contact with me and Orlando City and all the content that I put out on the channel. That would be much appreciated. It costs you nothing. It's 2 seconds. You subscribe. You give me the thumbs up. That's it. Also, I would like to remind everybody, Loud and Proud Orlando, Monday nights, 8:30, live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook with my friend Luis Pineda, interacting with you guys, talking about all sorts of things Orlando City related. And you can go to the Loud and Proud Orlando channel and give us a thumbs up and give us a subscription. Once again, it's free and it costs you nothing. It's seconds. Boop, boop, boop. Done. So, thank you very much. See you guys later. Vamos Orlando.